Ricky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Technically, as this episode drops, our first Monday episode in the month of February, which is craziness.
It is. And a week from tomorrow, as the calendar rolls, we're going to be having our 1 year anniversary party at Paisans. Start up at 11 or a little before till 1 or a little after.
Kind of whatever.
Got some pizza specials. Going to be recording a podcast for the kickoff of the new season. So year number 2, we'd like you to be on the podcast.
Want to meet you.
Yeah. So come out and see us. I don't know. We don't have any other swag right now.
Not yet.
We have pizza.
We ain't got no budget. Yo, that's good enough swag.
Right?
Yeah, that's good enough swag for right now. Maybe season 3 when we do that one, we'll have some swag.
Or maybe 2.5.
Or whatever.
I don't know. Something like that. We'll try.
You remember, it was a few episodes ago, we were talking about with the Wiggles and all that stuff. We'd mentioned somebody on our podcast, and ironic, a couple days later or whatever, something would happen to that person, death usually, or really sick or something.
Something happened. They end up, they're in the news, and you're like, whoa.
So that was episode 338. This is from a text, 402-403-9478. It's from Becca. The same Becca who texted us that her ex had plates with penis plates. She said, just listening to episode 338 now, and you just offered to talk about people since apparently everyone you mentioned dies or gets sick. She goes, you guys mentioned my ex-boyfriend in a recent episode, and I haven't heard anything yet about his untimely death. Does your power only extend to celebrities? I don't know. Check in with us, Becca. Let us know.
That's terrible.
Let us know. We don't know. Maybe.
I think it's more. It seems
weird.
like it's like been the real obscure, like references we haven't talked about for a long time, or somebody in the news all of a sudden pops up for some strange reason.
And it's not even necessarily that they die, but we'll mention them, and then like a couple days later, all of a sudden there's a story about them.
What?
Or there's like, that's so weird.
You know, somebody, speaking of famous people, there was a post the other day, and it got me thinking, all they were posting, and everybody was responding. It had, I don't know how many responses to it, wanting to know who was the very first celebrity you ever met.
Oh, geez.
The very first celebrity you ever met. Mine happened, and I had to think. I can't remember, though, if it's... it was in Kansas City, and the band was down there marching at Kansas City. You know, they used to always, I don't know if they still do it or not, but bands would come from all over, marching bands, and perform in Kansas City at Worlds of Fun. And we went down there, and which trips like that were always a kick for me because I was a baton twirler. So I had no
You just had to keep your stick, find your stick. You don't lose it. You're
we
good.
didn't do a lot of twirling. You know, it was just basically marching. You know, there wasn't, because you were marching right straight through. So there might have been a couple of things that you did, but for the most part, you're just rolling on through.
That's the equivalent of just getting a liberal arts degree in college, right? Just get that piece of paper.
That's it. We're going to slow down. No tricks.
So
anyway, there were buses of the Ashland Greenwood High School band members, and we went down to Kansas City, and we were staying in some hotel, and we had chaperones, of course, for our rooms. And this was like crazy town, you know, because we were not just going to Grand Island for Harvest of Harmony, man.
This was the night.
Yeah, this was
Harvest the Harmony.
Harvest of Harmony.
Oh, whatever.
Don't you remember that parade?
No.
Oh my
Are
God.
you kidding me? No, I don't
and then
remember that
we're going
parade.
to Lincoln and go march in Lincoln at State Fair every year. Oh my God, yes. Anyway, we went down to Kansas City, so we're staying in the hotel, and of course, it was out of control. It was crazy out of control, and there were high schools from all over in this hotel. It wasn't just us. So
just a disaster.
Oh my God. There was sneaking out, running up and down the hallways,
I'm sure.
You know, stairwells, trying to get in, you know, and they're all high school kids. Just craziness. Probably freshmen up.
Okay.
Because I remember there was somebody having a party in one room, and they had the bathtub full of ice. They didn't even know what that meant.
Chilling out their sodas.
Right?
Like, oh my God, lame.
I'm like, did somebody break into the mini fridge? Because you're going to get in trouble. You know. But anyway, we were running downstairs for whatever reason to go do something, and we took the elevator down, and then we all just bolted out of the elevator and take a hard right, and I ran smack into a guy. Just boom. Because I was looking to the left, he was on the right, and I was turning to the right, smacked into him. I think it was either the guy from Starsky and Hutch, or it was one of the Duke boys. And I can't remember John Schneider and
Tom Wopat?
Nope. John Schneider.
Tom
was
Wopat.
the blonde. Tom
That's-
Schneider, and then the other blonde, David Soul.
David Soul. I think you said it was. I think you told me this before. I think you
talked
said it was
about this.
David Soul.
It was one of the two.
Was he mad?
We were all just like,
Did you know who he was at the time?
yeah,
You did.
we did. I was in ninth grade when this happened. Probably eighth or ninth. It was eighth or ninth grade because we were in
Both those
high
guys
school
were
band.
big deals at the time.
Yeah, you were in high school band from seventh grade up, so I think it was in eighth or ninth grade. But anyway, both of them were. Yeah, and I can't remember for sure. I think it is David.
I think it was David Soul is what you had said before.
because that would make
think.
him Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, because it was a big show right at that time. It was a big show. Yeah,
But so were the Dukes, man. Just gonna say,
Dukes were awesome.
But I think that was the first celebrity that I didn't actually meet him. First celebrity I ran into.
Yeah, well, I think that counts though. The first celebrity you actually when
Right?
you say meeting, it's at like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And
Physical
that's it.
presence.
Right.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It was a baseball player, I'm sure, like George Brett or somebody. Just because I worked there at the stadium. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Maybe, and I didn't understand the impact of who this dude was. But the first year I started working with Rocket, David Cassidy came in for
Oh my gosh.
a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And he sat, and I was back answering the phones, and he was be sitting talking to me, and I'm like, oh, who's this weird guy? I knew he was the Monkees, right?
David Cassidy?
No, he was
Partridge
Family. That's right.
Oh my God.
And I knew he was on that show. But I didn't.
Yeah.
I never watched the show. I never watched.
You never
the show
watched the Partridge Family?
I never did. I just
Partridge
never got
Family-
into it. I never got into it. But I need to find that picture. 'Cause I took a picture with him.
Yeah.
And everybody else thought it was the coolest thing ever. But I just didn't know he was. But he was a super nice guy.
I think the Partridge Family only ran until, like the early 70s, and then it was in repeats.
Yeah, and you can still find it.
You can still find it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it was like, it just went on
like
and
Brady
on.
Bunch.
Yes. And David Cassidy was like cover of Tiger
Right,
Beat, dude.
Well, and then the next there was the him, but the next one that I really remember, it was that same kind of month, 2 months. It was funny. I think I've told this story before, but it's the funniest thing. Richard Simmons.
Oh my God.
And at the time, Richard Simmons was sweating to the. He was huge, like
Right.
huge. Came to town for some big, huge thing at the then Civic Auditorium, sold out deal, and he was going to be on Rocket's show that morning.
Oh
and
my God.
so I was pumped. It's like Richard Simmons is going to be super fun, and we're waiting. He's late, and all of a sudden this limousine comes where it used to be on 10th Street.
Yeah.
So the studio's on the corner. You could see 10th and Farnham everywhere. This limousine comes screeching around the corner on two wheels. And you see these legs sticking up out of the window, kicking. Absolute squirrel bait. Kicking. He jumps, and he wasn't like, I'm just dressed down. Richard Simmons, no hat and a jumper. No, he had his
Full
tank top
uniform.
and his
Full
little
uniform.
tiny shorts. And so he came in. He just
He's
was
one of those guys
absolute,
too that he runs everywhere he goes.
100%. And
Yes.
he did all the time. He ran, he jumped, he bounced, he hopped, he didn't sit still. Super, just a great guy. And he was looking for something, and he came walking back to my little back room, and I'm walking up, and Rocket had asked me something at the same time. So I'm looking at Rocket. Richard Simmons is here, and he looks at me, he snaps my hand, he goes, listen to me. And he goes, listen to me. And he starts banging on my chest, like, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, what is happening? What's happening?
I work here for free.
Oh my God.
Leave me alone.
And I was just like, what? What is going on? And about 20 minutes later, Rocket dared him to do the news without pants on. Did it. Because his tank top went down below where his shorts were. Took his
Yes.
shorts off.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
nothing else under there?
I mean, I'm assuming not.
Is that when? That's when the studio is could be raised up like an elevator.
Yeah, I wasn't on the elevator. I was down at a really weird angle.
Oh, that's too bad.
Saw his little Richard. I didn't, though. I didn't see it. But I probably could have. I didn't care to see it. He was just...
A lot.
He was a lot. Richard
Seriously.
Simmons was a lot.
Wow.
So that's
That's a good one though. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I'm trying to think. See, professionally, as far as first famous person I met.
Hi, proud supporter, Kugler Vision. They have been a sponsor and a supporter of our podcast from the beginning, and we appreciate that. Love being associated with them.
Absolutely. In 2020, the year of clear vision, you know that Dr. Kugler's been waiting for this all his life. Make it the best year yet with the modern LASIK from Kugler Vision. We've both experienced the dramatic change it can make in your life having a procedure done to correct your vision. And I couldn't be happier. I wish I would have done it a long time before I did, but I'm certainly glad I got it done when I did. They're just making things even easier and better for you, as if getting rid of the contacts or getting rid of the glasses isn't enough. February is going to be a huge month. You could be in the running for an Omaha night out.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right?
Yeah.
It's huge. So in the month of February, you need to schedule your consultation and attend it. You go in, and then you're automatically in the running for the Omaha night out, which is dinner for two at Chop House in the Old Market.
It'd be nice to be able to see the menu.
And see the menu, right? You don't have to dig for your glasses in your purse or ask for them in your pocket or whatever you got to do. Plus, go see the Lumineers at CHI Health Center. It's on March 14th as a show.
Without glasses to see the Lumineers?
Right?
Potentially.
Oh my gosh, all the good things. So anyway, they'll be announcing the winner on March 2nd on their social media and give you plenty of time to claim your prize. But do yourself a favor. Go ahead and make that consultation appointment on their website at kuglervision.com.
I mean, and it is a procedure still, right?
Yeah.
And the up to 7 potential options of a procedure. So you just don't want to go to anybody to get this done. You got to go to people that you trust, that other people have trusted, that we trust. And they have a ton of reviews from very satisfied customers, best of Omaha, around the world, around the country. Exactly. People come back to Omaha just to go to Kugler Vision. So they're trusted.
There's a reason for that. And so, you want to make sure it's your eyesight.
And tell them you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast.
Trying to think, it would have Alice Cooper.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
And I've still got that picture somewhere. His hair is way bigger than mine in the picture, and he's smaller. Still than is. Me. That's the funny part.
Those rock guys are little. A lot of them are little. Even the guys from Kiss. Some of the Kiss guys are big. When they're out of their shoes, they're little.
Camera angles are everything,
right? I've learned that over the years too. Taking pictures around this place, up angle, angle.
You take it from the up down, not from the down up.
Nope, the up
Thank
down.
you.
The up down. 100%. The up down.
I'm trying to think.
I don't remember. There was a local guy here, and his name probably doesn't ring a bell to anybody. His name was Danny Markle, and he was on like Days of Our Lives for a very, very long time. Okay. If you Googled him, you'd probably recognize his face constantly. And at the time, I had friends that the girls that I knew watched that show, loved it. I had no clue. I didn't know who the guy was. He, the guy who used to run the Ranch Bowl, Matt Markle, it was his brother.
Oh my gosh!
And I had no idea that it was his brother. It was anything. Matt Markle would come into our studio all the time, just hang out. And so at one point I got in there, and it was Scott and I were working, and I walked in, and a guy was there. And I knew who Danny Markle was. I've seen him. Everybody knew who he was. He was huge, like for a soap opera person. I didn't know he's Matt's brother. So I walked in, and there was nobody in the studio. I walked in, and apparently Matt had brought his brother down. Then Matt went to go to the bathroom. I walk in, and there's Danny Markle in the studio, and I'm like, I thought I had a stroke. Because like he was in the middle of this big storyline on Days of Our Lives or whatever it was, where he was missing.
Yeah.
And I walked in, I looked, I'm like, hey, I found you. You're right here.
It's like, wait.
And it was like 5 more weeks until they found him on the show. Like he was gone, but I knew where he was. He was right there. That's the weirdest.
It messes with your mind.
But remember that time though, you and I both were this one where we walked in the studio, and it was Real Life, I think was the name of the movie, filming in Omaha. It was about 7 or 8 years ago. And what's his name?
Real Life?
Martin Landau.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we walked into our office, and he's sitting on a couch outside of our studio. And I walked in, I looked at him, I turned around, I walked back to the mailboxes. I'm like, what?
What was that?
And he's just sitting there. Like Martin Landau's just sitting there.
One of the nicest people ever.
Super nice.
Absolutely, without a doubt, one of the nicest people we've ever.
But then on the other hand, jerk encounters with anybody famous.
Oh my God.
Do you have any of those stories?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to find her name. God, what was her name? Jessica Hahn.
She seems like she'd be a nice person.
You ever heard Jim Baker? Jim and Tammy Faye?
Mm-hmm.
She was the secretary.
She was a side piece.
Yes. And I was in my free intern period. So that's when I was a real newbie. And this was in Phoenix. And at that time, one of the big things to do was you find somebody who's big in a story, and then you give them a show for 6 months. Remember when Jimmy Walker?
Jimmy Walker was here in Omaha. And some of The Bachelor, like Jason Mendek and his wife, they have a morning show in Seattle, or she does anyway.
And so you use it till the luster wears off, and they gave her a show at the station I was at. Mm-hmm. And and she was so rude. She was so
You know why you're
rude.
famous, right?
And there's a singer, Taylor Dane. Remember her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. She could not have had less use for me.
For anybody. Yeah. For anyone.
Those were both at that same station. It was like, I was
rude.
totally green and did not know one thing and could not understand the rudeness. But I remember, Jessica, they would go get her every day. She had a limousine, she had a hotel, they put her up, and it was like a 3-month deal or something like that.
She was queen, whatever.
She was for a day, but that was before. See, and that was it. The funny thing is, 20 years later, 10 years later, you've got the Kardashian, right? And then how does that turn out? Completely 180.
Right. Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
So notorious, and then all of a sudden now she is completely famous.
Yep.
Notorious, and
so it could have been Keeping Up with the Hans if she had hit about 10 years, 15 years later.
Crazy.
And it seems like now celebrities can be jerks. Like you have your Alec Baldwins and those people that get fired up pretty much. But it seems like that's calmed down because everybody's got a camera and they don't want the bad PR. But back then, even up until 15 years ago, you didn't have a lot of cameras all over the place.
And it was sad because when somebody was nice to you, that stood out.
Yeah.
As opposed to the opposite.
Which was so stupid.
You would just assume they're going to be arrogant, they're going to be jerks.
Yeah.
And they would act the role as opposed to being thankful and
a lot of times the ones you don't expect to be jerks are jerks, and the ones you expect to be jerks are the nicest.
Yeah. Bret Michaels.
Nicest.
One of the nicest people ever.
Kiefer Sutherland, nicest person in
the
world.
God. He was one, I remember, you might remember this too. Years ago, we talked to him on the phone, and this was when he had still 24. And he was just getting started with his music company and his band, and he had some musicians he was promoting. And we get him on the phone. He was supposed to give us like a 5-minute interview, and he talked to us the entire 25 minutes it took him to drive the 101 to get to the movie lot.
Yeah, and we even asked for like, hey, thanks for coming on. You got to go. And he's like, I'm still in traffic. We can keep talking if you want. Yeah. And then finally he cut us off. He's like, guys, all right, I'm in the parking lot. He did. After he let us go, he's like, all right, guys, I got to go. They're waiting for me. I'm getting on set. Thanks. Blah 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 blah. And about 10 minutes later, the little super secret line that we had in the studio was ringing. I'm like, well, that's weird. And I wouldn't have normally answered it, but I answered it. And he's like, hey, is this Pat? I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is Kiefer. I may have said too much about the band, not releasing some stuff yet. So can you mind cutting that out for me? I'm like, yeah. Okay. It was so weird.
He was just absolutely free with everything. He was just being as conversational as could be.
And then, but it's those people like that stick out, and then you have the ones that are total jerks that thank goodness sometimes just like dissolve away because they're just such holes.
One of our first interviews, first 6 months we were first put together.
Oh, Mariah Carey hanging up on me. And I totally understand that. I shouldn't have. They specifically said don't ask about the golden toilet seat. There's a rumor going around that she had a toilet seat, like $250,000 gold toilet seat.
Not a rumor, apparently.
I should have got a little deep. I should have let that interview ride just a little bit longer, but 90 seconds in, I dropped the bomb and
lost
dial tone.
We lost her.
Mariah?
Our one chance to ever talk to her.
That was awesome.
Bye, Mimi.
I totally forgot. Bye, Mimi. I totally forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
and band guys, usually band guys are the nicest. Actresses seem like there's more of a chance when you do meet them that they're going to be more stuck up, whatever it is. But band dudes usually are
more real.
Like the coolest cats.
Super. I mean, definitely. And we've met. Had fortune to meet several on their way up, and they were all super. I don't know where they're at. I don't know how they are now.
I mean,
I might be a little full of themselves.
I'm not sure. Maybe just get like everybody wants a piece of them, so they probably get walled off. Like if their boundaries set pretty hard. I'm sure you get a little jaded. I'm sure you'd have to.
After a point, you're just like no to everybody.
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, you have to learn to say no.
Yeah. That's true. But interesting.
So you can text us in 402-403-9478. First celebrity you met, jerk, not jerk.
Because obviously mine, the first celebrity I met had nothing to do with work at all.
You were at Baton Camp. So
no, I wasn't. I was at band was playing
camp
at Worlds of Fun.
Whatever. I swear I was listening to your story. I swear I was.
God.
I was.
Anyway.
I promise.
Anywho. So we got that. We'll have more details coming soon about the 1-year anniversary party coming up on the 11th, which is a week from today.
Yeah. No, week from
Essentially,
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow with the 11th, Tuesday the 11th. So yeah, and keep, again, always check our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll have all the information up on that as well.
I have one question real quick I'm going to throw out there. Okay. Somebody had sent us a note about an organization called Heartland Cats because we're looking for charities that we can tie to our Amazon page. And they, Heartland Cats, I looked up their website, heartlandcats.org, and they have an Amazon Smiles account, which means that they're set up already so they can take donations.
Cool.
But I don't see a lot of updates on the account, and I really want to know because part of the reason why the person that wrote this in was that Heartland Cats does a senior program for both senior cats and senior people and matches them up because a lot of retired seniors may not think they can afford the possibility of the health care for a cat if something were to happen to them.
Makes sense.
Or just afford the food. And they have a sponsorship program so that they can have the cat and then this company, they take care of all the expenses. And I'm wondering if they're still doing anything, if you know anything about them. They were working with one of the vets at 180th and Pacific, I think it was, where they had them listed. And I'm just curious if anybody knows anything about them. I would love to find out if they're still doing their thing.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yes. For a cause. Anyway.
Okay. So there you go.
So, and the way you can let us know is you can email us, which is hey, HEY at patandjt.com, or just go to wherever, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or 402-403-9478. You can still leave voicemail too if you want.
Yeah.
Texting's fine, but whatever. Getting close to the 1-year anniversary party for our podcast.
Wow.
Check it out. See ya.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.